Hello, highly motivated STEM students. Today, I'm going to thoroughly review and explain 13 top summer programs for STEM students. But first, if I was watching this video, I would be like, why should I even trust this random guy who's talking? My name is Rishabh Jain. I'm a high school senior who's really passionate about science research. I've done things like the RSI program, Research Science Institute, hosted by CE and MIT. I've competed at the International Science and Engineering Fair and a variety of other science competitions. I've done multiple summer research internships and published research papers. So I've had my fair share and experiences in these types of programs. Today, I'm just genuinely trying to make a video that I wish I had when I was a freshman back in high school. Also, every year, parents are dishing out thousands and thousands of dollars in summer programs for students. And sometimes these are on these fishy programs like Crimson Education. So quick disclaimer, you should try to stay clear of these programs with no application, high fees, and if they don't have any reputable sources or backing, especially if they're run by a literal college consulting firm whose goal is to get customers, not to provide a valuable science research opportunity. So that being said, let's get into our list. So the first program here is the Research Science Institute, or RSI for short. And so RSI is the 6-week long summer program hosted at MIT by the Center for Excellence in Education. I've seen a bunch of videos on YouTube that include RSI, but I think 99% of those people didn't actually go to RSI, so I can give you a first-hand experience. I was a 2022 RSI student. You get to do cutting-edge science research in truly exceptional labs and institutions. They have great resources and really extremely smart people. Not just the lab members, but RSI literally gets some of the smartest students in the world, and you learn so much. And of course, being a social program, it's a lot of fun too, living with 80 other kids. And so at RSI, I did research in MIT's MC's lab and worked on modeling glioblastoma multiform tumor growth using deep learning. And you can see my preprint for that in the description down below. So RSI has had some exceptional alumni who go on to become world-renowned scientists like Feng Zhang and Terence Tao. And in my year at RSI, I met some extremely smart STEM students who are recognized internationally for their work. So this is truly a great program, and just being in that community is something that is life-changing. The program is entirely free. It's sponsored by MIT and other generous donors. The only issue is that this program is insanely competitive, as you can imagine from this description I'm giving you. The acceptance rate is literally lower than most Ivy League universities. One of the ways to build an application for programs like RSI is to demonstrate success in science research. One of the ways you can do this is through competitions. And I actually have an entire video about ICEF, JSHS, Broadcom Masters, 3M Young Scientist Challenge, and more science competitions, which I'll link in the description below. Oh, and also I have an entire video about how to do science research as a high schooler and even publish scientific papers. The next program on today's list is Stanford SIMR. SIMR is an 8-week summer internship program open to high school juniors and seniors, and the program consists of hands-on research under the direct guidance of a one-on-one mentor at a top-class lab within the Institutes of Medicine at Stanford. And so I checked it out. You can choose from Stanford's immunology, neurobio, cancer bio, bioengineering, stem cell, regenerative medicine, cardiovascular bio, bioinformatics, and even genetics and genomics. These are the list of their institutes. And so if you're into biomedical research, this is an exceptional program. You actually get paid a stipend of $500. So this is far better than some of the other programs like Crimson that, will actually charge you thousands of dollars and you're not even doing research in a reputable place. And so I know someone who did SIMR, they said it was a great experience. And so I'd highly recommend this one. The next program on our list is the Summer Science Program, or SSP. So each Summer Science Program campus will host 36 participants and 7 faculty for 39 days. And there are multiple Summer Science Program campuses in different disciplines. So for the actual research that you'll do, participants are organized in teams of 3, and the schedule will include some classroom time, lab time, field trips, and guest lectures. It's it kind of reminds me of some of the other camps, especially the camp that I did, RSI, where you do get, guest lectures, as well as your actual research time, as well as classes and whatnot. And so SSP has a low admit rate of about 10%. It's not as selective as something like RSI, but it's still prestigious and well-known. However, SSP does cost about $8,400, but they do offer financial aid for people who may struggle to pay that cost. And I had some friends who did SSP. They said it was a great experience. Now, you may be wondering, with admit rates so low, some of which are literally lower than college acceptance rates, how do you even apply and get into these types of programs while you're in high school? Well, I made an entire video about my Research Science Institute app where I had to write multiple 5,000 character essays, and RSI has one of the longest applications. So if you're applying to SSP or RSI or something else, this video is definitely worth checking out. Now, at this point, I've listed 3 videos that you should go watch after this, and so all of the links will be in the description below. The next is the NIH's Summer Internships in Biomedical Research for high schoolers. This is called SIP. And so this provides an opportunity to spend a summer working at the NIH. And this is really cool because, the NIH has some great facilities and even some research centers that will literally have hospitals included within them with patients and whatnot. So for biomedical research, this is a great opportunity. Some of the locations that I looked up, they have some in Maryland, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Arizona, and some more. And so you have to be at least 17. Most of these are going to be for, high school juniors or seniors, but I will say that there are some for freshmen and a variety of ages. So be sure to wait for that part. For NIH, you do have to be a US citizen or a permanent resident. Some of these, like RSI, are open, internationally. And so this NIH program is also pretty competitive. Again, not as competitive as something like RSI, but it does have the NIH name. You'll be working at great labs, and it's highly reputed. I had a few acquaintances who've done this, and they reported good experiences. Next up is Boston University, or BU's Promise. Promise is a 6-week math program for high school students, and it's incredibly intense, immersive for students who are really talented in math and thrive on challenge and creative problem solving. It is subsidized, but it still costs roughly $6,000, and Promise actually has some similarities to RSI. In fact, Promise and RSI play a bit of a friendly rivalry in a frisbee game. I don't have any friends who did Promise, but I've heard a lot about it from mutual connections, and I know that it's a great program for math students. Next on the math list is SUMAC. This is Stanford's math camp. Again, I don't know too much about SUMAC or Promise, but I do know both of them are very exceptional for math students. And so if you are a math student, be sure to check out both of these. I will leave the link for both of them in the description below. So next up, we have BU Rise. This is a 6-week program. It has 2 tracks, practicum and internship. So the internship is 40 hours of research a week, and practicum also has this research aspect, but only in computational neurobiology. And you also have to do lectures, and it follows a syllabus. So practicum is definitely more structured. Personally, if I applied to this back after my junior year as a high school junior, I would probably apply to the internship, but that's just because I like a less structured opportunity to do research in my summer. But everyone likes different things, so definitely check out both and figure out what suits you better. It costs $5,100 for the summer, and a lot of students who apply to BU Rise also apply to SSP and RSI, and its acceptance rate is not published online, but I can guess as it is a more specialized lab research program with some computational focus in the practicum, it's safe to assume that it's probably less competitive. Next up is HOPP. This is hosted at the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City. It's an absolutely great program for high schoolers interested in bio, chem, and cancer research. The actual program is 8 weeks. You must have completed 9th grade before going to the program over the summer. So for those of you who are freshmen, here's your opportunity. If you're interested in cancer research, bio, or chem, great opportunity to do research at a world-renowned hospital. So I know at RSI, we did oral presentations. And so this program, HOPP, they end with a poster session at the end, which is similar to BU Rise. They also do a poster session. I personally don't know anyone who did HOPP, but I've heard that it's really well known for great independent research projects that are guided by a clinical side of translational research. And since it's literally at a hospital, the clinical research is very hands-on and again, focused on that biochem cancer research. Now, I have a quick question for all of you. If you've done a STEM summer research program, let me know in the comment section below and what your experience was like, because I'm curious if any of you have done ones different than these or maybe some local programs. So please definitely leave a comment down below. I check each and every comment individually, and so I want to read those and I'll be sure to get back to you. Next up is SSRP. This is hosted by the Rockefeller University. SSRP offers high school students the opportunity to do cutting-edge research supervised by top scientists at the Rockefeller University. It has no fee, it's 6 weeks long, and you can see on the screen some examples of past research topics that people did at SSRP. And I know a smart guy who did SSRP. I haven't actually asked him about his experience, but I feel like if it was negative, it would have came up in conversation. So this is renowned. I know smart people who have done this program, and SSRP is about 35 hours a week, similar dates like June 26th through August 10th. So very similar to like RSI and some of the other 6-week programs. This is though focused for biomedical research once again. So groups of 8 to 12 SSRP scholars are going to be assigned to a research track, and then they're going to be mentored for that specific discipline by scientists and mentors at the Rockefeller University. So now we have Simons Summer Research Program hosted by Stony Brook University. This is roughly 6 weeks, very similar dates once again. Applicants must be in their junior year of high school at the time of applying, and they must be US citizens or permanent residents. This program does cost roughly $3,000. Applicants will be asked and required to select their top 3 choices of areas that they want to do research on when they're applying. And then the fellows, which they're called Simon Fellows, will conclude their internship at the end of the summer by producing an abstract and a research poster. All right, before we get into the next summer program, I have just a quick pause for you. By now, you've probably noticed this wonderful black quarter zip that I'm wearing. And this is actually from Hours Collection, which is a premium streetwear brand that I'm absolutely stoked to be representing. They have environmentally conscious clothing that is streetwear. It is incredibly comfy and is honestly great quality. When I first ordered these products from the Hours website, like I saw the product images and everything, and I was like, hey, this looks like great clothes. It looks like it has decent colors. I ordered them, and the colors turned out to be better than I actually thought they were going to be. Quality also turned out to be exceptionally good. And so Hours clothing is absolutely great. I only run sponsorships for companies that I genuinely use and believe in their mission and their ideas, and Hours clothing is one of them. They've been so kind to even sponsor this code for you. So if you use code RISHAB on checkout, you will actually receive 15% off. So thanks for that quick pause, and now back to the video. So next up we have Clark's. The Anson L. Clark Scholar Program is this intensive 7-week summer research program, and it's only done for 12 students. And so their acceptance rate is actually incredibly low because they only accept 12 students. You must be at least 17 by the age of the program. There are no fees, and you get, your food, your room and board. So it's really all covered and is a great program. They have the following fields, which are bio, cell and molecular bio, chemistry and biochem, computer science, economics, business, finance, and marketing, electrical engineering, computer engineering, history, microbio, and physics. So yes, you did hear me right. Those were history, marketing. So it has a variety of disciplines. And so for people who aren't directly in a STEM field but have other interests as well, you can do research in those areas. So definitely consider applying to this one. Now, for the literally 1% of you who stuck around until now, I have 3 special treats for you. The first 2 are bonus internship programs. The first is NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center internships. And for interns who love NASA, this is a great one to check out. If you're into, physics, astronomy, astro, all that type of stuff, NASA Obviously, this is something you will want to check out. The second is UPenn's Jerome Fisher MNT Summer Institute. And so I want to say that this one's pretty new because I actually haven't heard about this until recently. And I don't know how good the Summer Institute is, but I do know that UPenn's MNT college program is extremely good. This specific program, many people consider it to be on par with Harvard, Stanford, MIT, and the Management and Technology Summer Institute that they have here is rigorous. So something interesting about this course is that it's actually taught by, some professors and faculty from Wharton and Penn Engineering. So it's definitely a step different than what I'd say from the rest of the STEM programs that I've talked about, where you're really focusing on research abstracts, posters, papers, things like that. This program does have a fee of $9,000, but that is because you do get like a college credit for it. All right, and the one last treat I have for those of you who stuck around this long is my internships and research opportunities full guide. And so this is a guide that I made that has a huge list of even more research opportunities and internships as well. It also includes a cold emailing template, guides on how to apply, how to do well. And so I'd highly recommend checking this out. I'll include it in the description down below. So my channel here is probably the #1 source on YouTube right now for direct, actionable high school students who are interested in STEM. And so if that applies to you, I would highly recommend subscribing. I just try to make the videos that I wish I had when I was a freshman this tall. So please consider subscribing. It also helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and that sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching. Now watch these other 2 videos on the screen, which will talk about my STEM research competitions that I participated in, like ISEF, as well as my full guide on how to do science research, get papers published, and get involved. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.